Hello and welcome to Lesson 4, Instrumentation and Process Control Test Instruments. Your reference for this will be Test Instruments and Applications 2nd Edition, Chapter 8. If you have one of the older books, which none of you should, that will also be Chapter 8. So let's get a move on. It's a pretty short lesson based on the Socrative quiz that I've given you. Again, for a fuller understanding, you should do your homework. The use of gauges and other measurement devices to determine the value of electrical, environmental, physical, and operating conditions is called instrumentation. You can find this on page 316 in Chapter 8. It's the second page. It's the first real page. There's the title page, and then page 316. Question 2. When selecting the proper instrument to be used for process control, which of the following needs to be considered? And you'll find that on the previous page, page 315, and it's all of the above. You have to take into account the accuracy that you need, the application, and the operating environment, and the desired results that you want to get. You wouldn't want to use, if you're measuring like 15 psi, you wouldn't want to use a gauge that goes up to 400 psi, because the difference between 15 and 20 on that particular gauge is going to be a very minute change. Let's see what's next. Which of the following flow meters is most accurate? Okay, we're going to need to look up flow meters. You will find this one on page 332, and it is inline fixed flow meters are the most accurate, and the non-contact flow meter is good for approximation. It's mostly for being able to tell whether flow exists or not. When you don't really need to know how much flow there is, you need to know, is there flow? Alright, let's move on to the next question. Question 4. When using test instruments to measure a process control parameter, such as temperature, you should always wear your personal protective equipment. Well, this is a pretty much a gimme question. You should always follow electrical safety practices, wear your PPE, and follow the manufacturer recommendations for what you're doing. I don't see how this could even be a question. Alright. The blank rating of a test instrument determines how close the measurement of the instrument will be to the actual value. And that is the accuracy. The accuracy of the test instrument, let's see, let's find that in the book. Okay, accuracy is found on page 319, and you can read more about that there. Which of the following flow meters is the most accurate? We just answered that. That is the inline fixed flow meter. You can rewind to see what page that was on. Alright, and that is all for lesson 6. Or not lesson 6, lesson 4. So I'm going to go ahead and see you on the next lesson.